I ordained in Thailand, and after 10 years practicing in Thailand, and then a friend of mine told me, why don't you go outside, you know, your mountain, you go to some place to check your practice. So outside something not I'm familiar with. So he shared with me something about Korea. So then I start writing an application letter to apply for a 3 months retreat in Korea. I don't go for the teacher or the teaching to begin with. I just want to do something, you know, to experience, have had the experience. And that first Kelche was taken in Shinwonsa in Korea. 90 days retreat, and I never met Dae Sanim before, but that first year our guiding teacher is Subong Zen Master, the time only still Mudong Jidapop Sanim. And it's only during the retreat, those 90 days retreat, then I understand all these teachings, Zen teaching. To me, it's very I'm very surprised, because Zen, for me as a Chinese person and from Hong Kong, I only read books, Zen Kongan, all these things in the book is a legend. But then I come to this retreat, then it's not a legend. It's they have Kongan interview, and I like this Kongan interview very much. And that's why I get involved, but I never thought of joining the school. But towards the end of the retreat, then Zen Master Songsan came to the retreat to do, you know, also he gave Kongan interview to us, and he gave talk, and then after the talk he called me and showed me some name card from Hong Kong, some monks from Hong Kong, and I said, sorry, I'm not from Hong Kong. Even though I'm Hong Kong, I'm not from Hong Kong. I practice in Thailand. Then after the retreat, then some of my friends from Hong Kong came. And then they also saw meet the teachers, and they have very good feelings with the teaching Zen Master Songsan, taught. And also they like Mudong Zen Master Subong a lot. So then that time, then they say, maybe you go back to Hong Kong and set up a Zen center. And I had a little, uncomfortable because I didn't leave my teacher because I want to find another teacher. I'm happy with my teacher and what we are doing. And I said, wait, I have to call my teacher first. If he approves, then I will do it. If he say no, then I will not do it. So after the retreat, then I went back home, and then I called my teacher. So I said, I just finished my 90 days retreat in Korea, but the Zen Master asked me to help him to start a Zen center in Hong Kong. Do you approve of that? And my teacher, he said, yes. I'm so surprised and also very upset too. I thought he would say, no, you have to come back quickly, but he didn't say anything like that. And that's how I met Zen Master Songsan and the school, and also this is how we started our Hong Kong Zen Center. At that time, 1992, in the year 1992, we started the Zen Center in Hong Kong. Yeah. Well, actually the first time, before I met him, Mushim Sanim, before I met him, then Mushim Sanim told, I was in Korea, I was already in Korea waiting for Kelche, and then he drove me to a temple. And that time he talked about Zen Master Songsan's story in Taiwan. He told me that, which really impressed me. He said when Dae Sanim in Taiwan, Taiwan is a Buddhist country, so many people are Buddhists. So even the taxi driver. So Dae Sanim at that time was in the taxi, and this man, the driver, had this very tiny book, Diamond Sutra, hang under the mirror, you know. So then Dae Sanim asked this driver, "Oh, you read Diamond Sutra?" And he said, "Yeah, I read Diamond Sutra every day." Then he asked him, "I have a question for you. You read Diamond Sutra every day, so in the Diamond Sutra they say past mind cannot get enlightenment, present mind cannot get enlightenment, future mind cannot get enlightenment. With what mind you drive your car?" You know. And this taxi driver jaw dropped, and then even though he recite Diamond Sutra very well, but then he couldn't respond to Dae Sanim's question. Then after a little while, then Dae Sanim asked this driver, "You asked me the same question." And then this taxi driver asked him the same question. So past mind cannot get enlightenment, present mind cannot get enlightenment, future mind cannot get enlightenment. With what mind, Zen Master, you drive the car? Then he answered him, "Red light stop, green light go." When I heard that, then I thought, wow, that's interesting. This is even before I met him. This teaching impressed me. And also after the retreat, and I have the honor to help her attendant for a few days, to attend the Dae Sanim for a few days after Kelche. So when he first met me, and he asked me, he wanted to give me a book as a present. Then he said, "What's your name?" That time my name in Thailand is a Pali name called Sudama. Then I said, "Sudama," and he said, "What does that mean?" Then that time I feel very proud of my name. Sudama means a person of good Dharma. Then he hit me right away. He said, "Dharma has no good or bad." Then it really hit me. Yeah, this is my first time that we have that close connection. And all those years, I actually were very fortunate. His last 10 years, he spent a lot of time in Asia. He came to Hong Kong sometime 4 times a year. So I have a lot of opportunity to help him, and then we also travel a lot together those 10 years. Many, many interesting stories. One very interesting story is when we go to, where is this place? In Germany. I think it's Germany. Then that time, Dae Sanim gave a talk in the public. And that time, some woman want to threaten us, you know. Then Dae Sanim respond to this person very well. He meet this woman and see this woman, and then nothing happened. Then after that, then me and Wu Sang Sanim talked to Dae Sanim together. Then Dae Sanim asked Wu Sang Sanim, "What are you holding all the time, you know?" Then Wu Sang Sanim said, "It's a book." And then Dae Sanim said, "No, I think it's a Bible." "No, it's a book." It's only a notebook, not Bible. Then he said, "Oh, very, that's wonderful. So how are you going? You are Zen Master. It's more important than Bible." He said that. Then Dae Sanim, no. Zen Master is not Bible. Zen Master is toilet paper. I really like it. then afterward, then I said, Desang Sanim, I really like your answer to Musang Sanim. Zen Master is toilet paper. He said, correct, you know. If you go to toilet, you don't have toilet paper, then have problem. So I really like this, his teaching. Yeah, he always teach, almost every day, everywhere we go. There's so much to share, but these are the things I like to share with you today. This is, you know, practicing with Zen Master, Song San. It's not easy because Hong Kong already long time Buddhist country. So when I first go back to Hong Kong and when we first opened the school, people thought we are what is the word? We are like not correct Zen cult. They think we are cult. Especially the Sansanim talk about breathing with your lower belly. At that time, it's 1992. That time, Hong Kong very strong Pure Land practice, and everybody don't like us. Only my teacher. I have a Chinese monk teacher. I learned from him since I was like a lay woman. So he know me very well, and fortunately, he liked their Sansanim very much. He is the only monk. He is the only school in Hong Kong recognized their Sansanim's Dharma and his great enlightenment. The other monks, they don't like. Anytime they saw us, they do like this, or they, even though we visit them, they shut the door. They don't receive us, and then if we do anything, then they invite us, but they ignore us. So not easy. And at that time, practicing Zen at that time, not now, they say only very high class people can learn Zen. And if you're not correct, then you're a demon. So they treat us like demon, you know, because, and especially we teach about this primary point and don't know, they cannot accept it for many, many years. But then Desang Sanim, I asked him about this, and he said, don't worry, only you practice. You know, maybe many people come at that time to come and practice with us. After one talk, two talk, then they only come and check and gossip and leave the temple. So it's really, really, the first 10, 15 years is really very difficult. But then I have no conflict in that, because during the retreat I taste something. I taste this primary point. So I have no conflict of what we are teaching. So even though people bad speech to us, then the Sansanim always say to us, good advertisement. It's a very bad speech. No problem, they are helping us. He always give us something, good energy, good response to something very negative response. So that time not easy, but then we just practice, and then slowly. Now we are 25 years old, and most of the Buddhist group, because we have to work with other Buddhist group, so very often they invite us, they included us, and then they will put us in a VIP table together with other groups. So I think it's very good training. To me, it's a good training rather than something not, negative, because there is a saying in Chinese. They say, if you are real gold, you are not afraid to be burned in the fire. It's only through burning the fire and many hitting, this pure gold will shine. So this is just a process, the process of practicing. So that's why I have no doubt at all, no conflict at all. Only use the situation to make the teaching more clear, and it's working. It's not conceptual, it's not an intellectual approach, it's not something conceptual. It's really, you can use it, and then you can help inside out the mind, and also can solve the problem outside the situation. So I find it very, very interesting, very challenging too. What is the most important teaching of Dae Sanim that we have to preserve, I think, is this is the most important. This is the most important point to preserve and to begin with. This is not it. But if we not taste this, then all teaching become intellectual. But if you taste, then any teaching that you see, you hear, you are practiced, then you get the experience. This experience have to be inside us, not from books and not from the person who is teaching you. So this is very important. Also, Kongan practice is very important. Also, this big question, I think, is very important too. What is this? What am I? So this don't know, as our school often talk about this, don't know, is not just a concept or just a word, but it really helps us to have this mind of investigation. What is this? You really look inside, and then what you see, what you do, then not become automatic. It's not like we call that. It's like a robot. Because this big questioning is like you really look inside you, and then something come out from inside your mind, from inside out, not from outside in. So this big question, what is this? What am I? What is happening? Bring us back to this point. In our school we say don't know. But this point also means clarity, You have to be clear. So clear, then we can see clear, hear clear, smell clear, taste clear, even if we think very clear, even though we have to use our thinking, then very clear. Then this clarity behind have three very important things, I think is very important. The Dae Sanim always talk about that, and then it's very important for all of us. Is correct situation, correct function, correct relationship. It's so clear. Our school not only teach us come back to this moment, which is our substance, and it's not about only seeing truth. Not enough just seeing truth, but how function truth make correct life. Then this is the whole picture of our school teaching. I cannot just say one point, but this one point help us to accept the truth. Then how function truth to make this thing work at that time. So this is something I find very valuable. In Buddhism, not only in our Zen school, we talk about truth as it is. This world not only belong to you or me, it belong to all beings. all humans. So it's not only one person you can change this, we say karma. This is like a collective karma. And this collective karma is correct because everything appears and can keep for some time, and it will decay and it will disappear again. So in the Buddhism, we call now we are in this changing time, is decaying time. So we cannot avoid this decaying, but what we're doing is try to slow down this decaying. So many people during this decaying time can speed up their spiritual practice before this whole thing collapses. We cannot avoid, but we can try our best to slow it down so more people, it's not only outside situation green or environment green, but our mind we have to preserve. So if we get ready to preserve this mind, we have this center, have strong center, and our mind is clear. Even though during this collapsing time, we can face it with clarity, also not suffering, but how to help other people who are suffering to have less suffering, and together we, accept the truth as it is. That is, something we don't have to be afraid of if the moment comes. And if we're ready, then let's die together, no problem. This is something I find very interesting. If we go to visit other countries, actually we are international, but we are the same. Like if you go to Hong Kong, we will do the three jewels together, the Mahabanya, Gridharani. Those things we are together. Maybe we chant the Heart Sutra in a different dialect, different languages, but the practice is the same. We bow the same, we sit the same, and only little small things are different. But from an international angle, I think we feel at home wherever we go to different countries that we have our Zen Center. Like I come here, I feel at home. If I go to Cambridge Zen Center, I also feel at home. I don't feel I'm an outsider. I don't know whether this answers your question or not. So maybe we're different in different areas. Even though I have a chance to go to Israel, I feel at home with the Zen Center. Even I go to Israel, I feel at home. I don't feel I'm some outside. This is my own experience that when I travel and get in touch with the student, we are only outside different, but inside we are the same. Because all of us want two things in our life. Even though they are not from our school, but everybody wants two things, is happiness and also wisdom. Yeah, happiness in a compassionate way, and also this wisdom everybody wants. If everybody have that same direction, then this direction help us to be, we are going towards the same direction. Maybe we are a little from the west, or some of the east, and some from the midwest, or mid something. So this is how I felt, how our school helped us from an international level. I think this core is the most important. Other things are only side dishes. The main course is the most important. Other things have, if you ask me, is different people, different countries, different culture have different karma. Then some people can do something, like in Asia, maybe it's easier for us to do something in Asia. But maybe in the West it's more difficult because different people have different karma, different condition, different situations. So I think everybody, every country can use the situation just to do what you can and just to respect each other, their capability, and not to discriminate or try to say, oh, this is better, this is no good. I think this is more important. What we are doing, is it enough or not enough? I cannot tell. I don't know what is enough and what is not enough. But everybody try their best. If you love the Dharma, you love practice, I think each individual, each group will do something according to their talents, to their, their karma, their merit, This is how I felt.